Hey guys, it's Tom again. I'm back. And in this video, I want to talk about a little bit about landlines in the Philippines, right? Like I didn't really touch on that because I was more focused on a recent video about SIM cards. And I even touched on the SIM card registration thing. But, I wanted to talk about landlines here because they're not very prevalent. Just, and you could say the same thing about the U.S. now, right? Like the only time it seems like people have landlines that aren't businesses like in the US, like private people that have landlines, are either like, usually they'll get it with their cable system. Like they might have a bundled package of cable TV, internet, and then and a landline for like, 150 a month or something like that, right? Like in the US. And then it's like a digital phone line. I had one until not too long ago, like maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago or something like that. I think I stopped that and I was just like, I don't even need a landline. But people do, and that's kind of the situation here in the Philippines where businesses will have landlines, right? And I know Globe offers like with their internet service sometimes, their home internet service, you could also get a landline. Like I think it's just thrown in there for free. It's I don't know if Smart and Sun offer the same things, and I have Sky. Okay, we have Sky. We get cable TV and internet, but I mean, but even if they did offer a phone service, I mean, I don't need it. And this is the other thing about landlines here. You could have a issue with calling a landline from a cell phone here in the Philippines. Like if you have, it doesn't matter. Like if you have Smart or Globe or Sun or whatever, you could sometimes you'll be in a situation where you can't even call. You have a Smart SIM card. You can't call like a Globe landline. You know, Matter of fact, you might even have trouble calling a regular Globe line unless you have the all network load. You know what I mean? Like you have to put a load on your SIM card that covers like everything, or at least all other mobile phones. But you still might have an issue calling a landline from a cell phone here. Okay, and the only time that, in other words, it's like you could call a landline from another landline. Okay, in the Philippines now I'm talking about. Or you could pretty much call landlines from like a U.S. phone, but you're going to pay that. I mean, unless you got some all-inclusive plan that might be expensive in the U.S. To be used internationally. Unless you have that, you're going to be paying like just like you would calling a cell phone in the Philippines with your U.S. company phone. You're going to pay like 20 cents a minute or 10 cents a minute or something like that, right? So it's just I'm making this designation here because it's a lot different. Like in the U.S., any phone can call any other phone. It doesn't matter if it's a landline or another network like Sprint could call U.S. cellular phone, and it doesn't matter. In fact, it's usually mobile to mobile is usually included in your plan. It doesn't matter what if it's the same company as yours. AT&T can call Sprint, for example, and it's included in the in your plan. The only stipulation in the U.S. is oftentimes if your cell phone plan, you might need to get extra minutes for calling a landline or receiving a call from a landline. Like some people just get the minimum, like they'll get 200 minutes a month or 300 minutes a month, and that goes toward landline to cell phone or cell phone to landline calls. But for the most part in the US, mobile to mobile calls are included in whatever plan you have. And it doesn't have to be the same network, you know what I mean? And that's not the case here. That's my point, right? That's not the case here. Like I said, you're going to have trouble calling landlines from Philippine SIM cards, Uh, you know what I mean? Like even if it's the same network, like Globe Cell to Globe Landline or whatever, it's weird. It's like it's not all centrally sort of connected. Everything like it is like in the U.S. Um, but anyway, I wanted to touch on that just so you guys know about that. And then I just also wanted to touch on there's a new data plan or that I have, right? Like, because when I knew I was losing my data with Google Fi, which was pretty good data, by the way, even in the Philippines, I never had an issue with it, you know? And I never really exceeded my, the 2 gigabytes a month that I was, or actually 1 gigabyte. You'd get 1 gigabyte for, and your plan and everything for like $30 a month. And I never even coming here for, say, back in previous trips, 20, 25 days, I never exceeded that gigabyte for that month, even though I was kind of using it here, pretty much. Um, but anyway, so, and then one guy asked me, like, and I did answer his question. He commented about, do you need a SIM card to use Wi Fi on your phone? And no, you do not. My answer is no, you do not need a SIM card on your phone, to use Wi-Fi in that area or whatever. And just think about it this way, right? You know how, like, think about all the smart TVs that are out there. You know, they're smart TVs. They don't have SIM cards. You know, like Android TVs or whatever, right? And they get Wi-Fi. They stream. You could put streaming apps on your television directly, and then just watch stuff. And there's no SIM card on your TV. But it's a good question because I used to wonder that myself. Um, but anyway, now this new data plan I got, it's called FlexiRoam X. Okay, like FLEXIROAM, and then X, like separate X. Check them out. That's all I'm going to tell you. I mean, I got like a 6 month plan that included 5 gigabytes of data for like, I think it was $29. Okay. And that was back in, uh, when did I lose it? September, June, July, August, September. I believe that was in September. So October, November, December. It was over 3 months. I'm halfway into it. And I still got like over 3 gigabytes left. And I use it, man. Every time when we go out, I turn it on. I use it. You know what I mean? Every time we go out, we go somewhere or whatever, whether it's all day or whether it's just for a couple hours or whatever, but I have it on. I use it. And it works. Works good. It uses, in this area, they kind of use like whatever's strong in that area. And it starts out where you might use smart. And I was using it at the beginning, and then I had like one issue or something. And then you can manually select the network. So I picked Globe, and I've had better service with Globe, at least in the area in Manila here. So I just kind of keep it on that. And I haven't had any issues. So just something to consider, something to check out for you guys if you're in a situation where if you're going to come here to live or whatever. I still keep my Google Fi because it's still, now it's back down to, I don't make that many long distance calls now anymore, so it's back down to like $30 a month. And it's sort of like I still like to keep my number. Okay, I like to keep my phone number for two-step verification purposes, for texting for free. I can text anybody in the US, my family, friends, whatever, and I can text even a Filipino phone, and it doesn't cost. you know but I can't if I call either the US on my regular cell number service, or call a Philippine phone. Either way, it's like 20 cents a minute. So that's the only drawback. So obviously, with all these apps, though, if you're calling family and friends, you don't need to be using your regular phone. Plus, I do have a Google Voice phone number that's like a local Chicago number. You know what I mean? Where somebody calls me on that number, it's free. And then, I don't know, I think you could call from that number, but I don't know, it's a little dicey. I just kind of have them call me on that number. You know what I mean? When I call someone else, I'll usually try to use Messenger, WhatsApp, Skype, So, but anyway, guys, that's about it. Just something to think about. I found this company from another couple on YouTube that had the same thing happen. They're traveling, they were expat couple, and they lost their Google Fi again after. Sometimes they do it right after 3 months. Sometimes you might be lucky and have it for 6 months or a year before they figure out that you're not living in the U.S. And but whatever the case, they're gonna get it. They're gonna cut you off at some point if you're living overseas. So anyway, yeah, this couple, that's what happened to. They were talking about this company. I checked it out, and I'm happy with it. You know. So, all right, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It's been a little tepid the last week. You know what I mean? Like my subscribers were kind of climbing, a certain amount a day, and then all of a sudden, I think right after the holidays, I guess you guys are probably going back to work and stuff, and I don't know, maybe it'll start kicking up again this weekend. But I get it. Maybe people were off right, during the holidays or whatever, and there was more, action on YouTube, and then they went, now the first week after the holidays they're back at work. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Have a great evening and a great upcoming weekend.